TeamPatient. So I shared a lot of information. We never were able to do that. But basically just sharing all of the benefits of using TeamPatient, they were very excited about that. And what they liked a lot about the idea of having this platform to use is that they were able to have the people on their support team all involved. And Al will show you how to do that and explain a little bit more about how to get more people involved. But also this is another way to show the progress, to show what they're doing, to show all of the things that they're involved in, meetings that they're attending, counselors, coaches, doctors, whatever it is that they may be, working with, probation officers. This is a great way for them to show the work that they're doing. And I know just talking to one of the gals in my group, she said how frustrating it is for her because she had, was doing all this work, but no one, she just didn't have any way to show a record of that, which TeamPatient will be able to do that. And when, as we know, what can be helpful is, when people see their progress and see that they're doing these things, that is only going to help them, feel better about themselves. So, and it's just a great way for them to stay organized, bringing other people onto their team, and everybody that's on their team, on TeamPatient, they are the ones that are able to get them connected. So nobody's on your team that you don't want them to be, but then again, as a person in recovery myself, I know it's important to have a team of people, in my circle. So, as far as my own accountability. So this is just another way, even for family members to get involved. I know a lot of times, family members feel like they kind of are left out, or they just don't have a lot of ways to stay connected. But with this, with this platform, they can be, and they can help, to hold their loved one accountable too. So I think it's just kind of, the win-win for everybody, just with all of the added benefits with TeamPatient. And I know just, most people need that in the recovery journey. So what we're gonna do next is Al's gonna tell you some information about what is TeamPatient. We'll go through a demo on that and just an overall view of what it really looks like and how to use it. We'll have some questions, or you're able to ask questions. But if you would like to, go ahead and put those in the chat area, and then I will just monitor that, and we can answer some questions at the end. But I'll let Al go ahead and take over, and just a little bit of a background about Al. She has been, she's part of the Solutionize team, which is the web development team. They are actually in New York, and Al is the brains behind building the Indiana Recovery Network. So she has all of the knowledge for that. She's also involved with the Indiana Coalition Network, which is all of the LCCs. She's done some web development for IPRIS and the MHAI new website. So she's been very involved in a lot of different initiatives for Mental Health America of Indiana, which is who we work with Indiana Addictions Issues Coalition. So anyway, that is it for now with that information. But if you want to go ahead and get started explaining what TeamPatient is.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for giving part of your evening to be at this session. And thanks, Jody. And you made me look like I know everything, but I have a team behind me. So, Anyway,
You're a rock star, Al. So.
uh, we'll go through, um, and this is gonna be quick. So it's what's TeamPatient, how TeamPatient will help, the different functions, and then we'll have demo of we created a sample account to simulate what a peer sport would do using TeamPatient and working with the clients, and then um, we'll answer your questions, and then we'll talk about next steps. As Jody said, please feel free to um, enter your questions in the chat, and we'll deal with them, all of them. Okay, so briefly, what is TeamPatient? It's the patient-centered, we call it patient, but it's person-centered collaboration solution for peer sports to connect everyone and everything around each affected individual to support their sustained recovery and re-entry into society. So this is, your one place to go where you have you are on the same page with your client. A lot of times, there's you have to answer the same questions several times, and the story just gets muddled along the way, especially when we're trying to work with different stakeholders and different parties who are supporting you. And how does TeamPatient help? It's, we added some items here, which is like very high level. So we know that there's different pathways to recovery, but what is important is we connect the continuum of care, and these are your support system to help the individual support system to help sustain their recovery. So what TeamPatient does is simple. It provides those linkages to the components of the recovery-oriented system of care, meaning the people, resources, and it's a tool to keep on track with what needs to get done. So we help in destigmatizing the recovery, because this is a private network. As Jody said, no one will get into your network, into the individual's network, without their say so, without their approval. And also because you as the peer support owns the network, you will know who the individual is bringing in on the network too. At the same time, the folks who have been invited in the network can be uninvited at any time when when they are no longer wanted or involved. And then this next one, it's to demonstrate accountability. I think this is an important point here, because there's always the issue of accountability. We help the individual be accountable, and this is helping them keep track of what they do, helping by working with them. This is not you telling them you should do this, but it's working with them to set the recovery plan. It's a collaboration between you and the individual, and both of you can track the adherence, how they're doing with the things that they need to do, and it's not just to say, hey, you haven't done it, but it will also help you troubleshoot. For example, if they needed to go to a meeting or some counseling, and they didn't or job interview, but they did not do it, you see that it hasn't been completed. Did they not go? Did they not do it, or they just forgot to mark it complete? Or if they didn't do it, what was the cause of it? Did they just didn't want to do it, or there must be a problem that you can help them with? So it's to troubleshoot also. So, and then of course, because you have this connection, this is TeamPatient will allow you to be connected to your client in between the phone calls or the personal in person. Hopefully, we'll do in person soon meetings. So this keeps you um, in contact with them, in sync with knowing what they're doing based on the plans that you both have created. And because of that, hopefully, it will help mitigate the risk of relapse, because from the patterns, you can say, he hasn't logged on for 3 days, 6 days, and you could use TeamPatient to ping them. And if repeated pings and um, you get to the next level to a phone call, and if that doesn't happen, something's wrong, then early on you can at least triage what the problem is, hopefully. And as a result, you will help them to sustain their recovery, provides that, because you will have more or less a 360 view of their journey based on the plans that you have created with them, how well they're doing there, and because what you have a record of what you planned with them, and their progress, you can work out what the next, the roadmap, so to speak, on the next steps. So that and this is communications, and all these are all generated by your team, and the initial team is you and your client. This is just a simple picture of what the screens are on TeamPatient and the different functions. Let's go to the different functions. TeamPatient is based on groups, and the groups is what makes it private and exclusive, because you, as the peer support, you own the network, so no one gets into your network without your say so. There's another layer of privacy for the individual, which is the groups. So you have to first create the group for your client. That is your workspace. That is your for the lack of a better term, I usually say this is your playground. This is your workspace where you collaborate, you work with your client, and no one sees anything that happens there without your and your client's approval. Because the only way somebody will see what's happening in the groups is if they are a member of the group. Now, within the group, you have to-dos. This is the accountability part and the planning part. This is where you plan your work, the road ahead, and so what they need to do, when they need to do it, have they done it, why not, and all those things. And the to-dos is also a good way to track their progress. It's I mean, some individuals that we've worked with, they love it because they say this is our way to show, prove, especially to family who is usually estranged, to prove that they're on their way back, you know, on their way to recovery, and they're doing what they need to do and all that. Um, and then the resources, these are documents that I mean, if you want to share to your clients, like, here's a form that you need to fill in, and here's an article you may want to read, stuff like that, and here's a video on YouTube that will help you in your, in writing a resume, for example. So those are the things. And on the resources, you control this as the peer. You can share it, but and as far as if there are forms, there are things that your client wants to have in their network, they will have to send it to you, because of, and so you will have to apply your organization's ROI rules on that one.
I think too, Al, with this, with the resources and really just kind of using this as a way to kind of develop your own style and what you like to work with people on. I mean, I know just for myself, I have a wellness program that I like to, work with people on that includes, meditation, and, that way I could, upload some meditations on there, or just whatever your style is, you can develop that. And as you start, working with more people, this gives you that flexibility to be creative and, share different things with them, and, involve them in a lot of different ways to, maybe holistic approaches to recovery. So I think this is just a great way to be creative.
Thanks, Jody. And then conversations. This is another key function that I think will help you, because this is where it's your way, again, as I've said, this is your way of communicating with your patient, with your client, in between the phone calls and the Zoom sessions. So, it's a quick way to, oh, don't forget you have an interview tomorrow. Don't forget, or you did a great job on this thing. It's both reminders, it's both keeping track, reminders, and also it's your way, I mean, to reinforce and cheer them on, you know. And then there are the email and notifications. These are email is a private way communication, because conversations is open to the group. If you have other people in the group, it's a broadcast, so to speak. But email is like, point to point communication among members of a group. The upside of this is it doesn't get mixed up with the rest of your emails and text messages for the whole day and the week, and so that if you need to find a specific message, this is a place to go. Oh yeah, you can go back and find it here if you did the messaging here. Notifications is this is a way when you create the groups, and you opt in to get notifications. So anything that happens in the group, like there's a new task to do that was added, there's a new resource or a new conversation, you get notified. Okay, now we go to the fun part. Oh, actually, we can break here and answer questions if you have any questions. Okay. So with TeamPatient, it's hang on. Let me share the my full, full screen. Okay. Can you see my screen now? This is the view, your view, when you log in to TeamPatient. Okay. This will be your view after you log in. And if you notice, you'll have, if you have clients already, my groups. Right now, I mean, what we created is Jody is my client. So I created a group for Jody. What happens is when you log in for the day, you see what's to do. So if you have several clients, you'll have a lot of these saying, okay, these are appointments and all that. But you can also go to your calendar and see what's happening. You can have a backward and forward view of the tasks of the to-dos. So for today, as we've seen, there is an appointment. And we know that the appointment, when I opened it, it's actually Jody's appointment. So when this is the group, this is now the view of your client. Jody would be the client, and this would be her view. Now, with that appointment, oh, sorry, I needed to, okay. With that appointment, Jody can flag it as complete. This is the tracking. This is the accountability part where you work with your client to add the to-dos that they need. You know, here's our plan for the next month, next week, whatever. And then you track them by looking at the tasks. And the goal is if Jody has gone to the interview, Jody will flag this as complete. Let me know, Jody, when you've completed, you've flagged it.
I flagged it, Al. Sorry, I couldn't get to my unmute button. So yes, I did my task.
Okay, so see this. So Jody has this will be the view when she's completed it. Now, when you do that, going into this will be what you see when you work with your client. And what it is you can manage the group and invite them. So it would be Jody, and we invited Jody, and Jody would have, you know, she's now part of the group. And because Jody has found, is already an admin for the group, she can add, all she could do is add the tasks. That's the admin part there. In addition to that, this is the conversations. This is where you keep in touch with your clients in between those meetings and the phone calls. So we know that Jody has a meeting, an interview today. So this morning I sent chat. I mean, I posted a conversation saying good luck, and then after her meeting, she responded to that conversation. And this is also that don't forget you need this, or if your client needs, I I mean, I'm going to an interview, any pointers for that, or I need help, I need a ride to go to my appointment, stuff like that. So this is where these things happen. And when these conversations were posted, um, notifications, as I've said, you have to um, activate the opt-in for notifications. See my screen where it says latest activity from Jody. So I will get a notification like this saying Jody has added a new task to do, or she has added a conversation. So everybody in the group will have um, a view of what is happening. And to add the to do is so easy. You go to the group because all the to dos and conversations are based on the group. This is how we keep that privacy with between you and your client. You add the to do, maybe visit mom. And when do you want to do this? Maybe on Friday after work. It's as simple as this. And I don't, I want to stay for a couple of hours. There's no repeats, and this is an appointment. So, and then this area where we have details, this is where you can use this area to do reminders. So put information about, be nice to mom, make sure you have your, or if it's a counseling meeting, make sure to bring your insurance card, stuff like that. And so if she is doing this, so you need to buy flowers. It's just, simple things like that. But also, um, your client can put in information here too. Like, I will need transportation to go to this place. I will need you to come with me because I need to understand what's happening, without having to, sometimes it's frustrating to do phone calls when the phone call doesn't get through or doesn't get picked up. Putting it here knows that, works out so that then you know that it will be picked up. So now here it is. Jody knows that she has an appointment on Friday, and she can edit it if she wants to make it Saturday, you know, and all that.
My phone, so saying that.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So it really works.
It does, surprisingly. And what did we have? Oh no, we didn't have resources here, Jody. Okay, so for your, I mean, so we covered the um, client's view. Now for your side of the equation, what do you do if you have a new client? It's as simple as manage groups. You add a group and probably because I have somebody named Cuz, and then uh, it's always what's the objective of the group? It's to support recovery, and who should join? Uh, Supporters of Cuz. So it's as simple as this, and and then at this point, your what do you call it? Your client will get the email, and the reason why. Oh, and then oh no, I created it. I forgot to do the email. So it's simple. Now you have to invite Cuz, for example. Okay. Oops. Um, okay. So now it's as simple as who is she, and you do Cuz, and this is friend. I submit, and now Cuz will get the notification email. And so it's as simple as this. The patient when the patient gets the notification email, he or she will click a link to activate his account, and we will see, and then he'll have access to this the way Jody has. This is one thing. Always click on notify me, because that's the key. That's the key to getting the emails that I showed you, and same with Jody. Okay. So, what else do we need? Now, for you as a peer sport, what happens is you will see this, and you know these are the appointments and all that. You can either go to each group and see what's happening, or you want to send a message to your client, or you can also look at your calendar. And today, I know that there are 2 appointments. It could be a lot more to-dos, tasks, because the to-dos could be an appointment or a task like this one, a task to write the journal, a task to fill in, complete the application for housing, renew your insurance. Those are tasks. Appointments are, counseling.
Al,
Yep.
what I like about this is this is your tool to help them, and you're going to help them set their own goals, set their own tasks, create their own to-do list, and this is, you know, just a great way for them to take action. And as we all know, that is a very important part of this process, is helping encourage people to take the action that they need, you know, to make some of the changes. But this is something you get to do with them. I like the
Okay.
flexibility there. Yeah, you bet.
Yeah. So like, if I'm working with, say, like, okay, there's Tammy, and I say, let me turn this down. Hold on a second. So then I say, well, for instance, I see something while I'm doing something else, but it reminds me of Tammy, and I want to make a note to her. Hey, go check out XYZ website. I think it'll help you. Like, I can just jot something like that in here.
Yeah, absolutely. You can
Yeah.
Okay.
So you go
under
here
that link. Yeah. You can send
Mhm.
that link.
and
Yes.
you do the conversation. Just post it to her.
Okay.
And
Yeah, that's
then
good.
what happens is she will get a notification on her email that there is an activity, and she can see this link here that says visit Jody. That's
Mhm.
the link that goes right into here.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
it's immediate. It's like right
it is
bam,
immediate.
click, and it's there.
Yeah, and for security purposes, this link gets you right into your group. However, for security purposes, it's a one-time link.
Okay. Oh, good.
Yeah,
Good.
because
Okay.
if somebody got hold of her phone, they can keep on clicking, but they can't get in. If
Oh,
the
that's
next time you
good.
click on it, you'll have to log in.
Okay. So you have
Yeah,
to relog back in. So
yeah,
that's good. That's
yeah.
good. Okay.
And what's good about that too is it's your own private network to communicate with the people that you work with. That way you're not, you know, you don't give them out your cell number and you're trying to text people. And it's just, you know, it keeps everything separate, and it
Mm-hmm.
helps you stay organized, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
those conversations are, I mean, you can always text, but then you know how it is with text messages.
Yeah. I
On
can
this
see this
one,
being really helpful.
yeah, on this
Just
one,
yeah.
yeah, I go to Jody and I see all of these things that are happening to her. I mean, with
Yeah.
her, you know.
Mm-hmm. And I think this will be helpful for me and for those that I serve and work with, and like it'll kind of cut down on the traffic of communication. You got email, then you got text, then you got an inbox from maybe their Facebook or social media, blah blah blah. So instead of trying to go find out where we were talking last, or try to go back and keep the same thread in one place, it's hard to do. So one central place will be good. So it won't have to be, well, did you send it to my phone, or did you email, or is it is it Instagram, or was it
Yeah,
Facebook?
exactly. Or is it on
Exactly.
Twitter or whatever?
Yeah. So this would be really good. And
Yeah.
like you said, just my own phone number. I've been working to try to like get a Google Voice thing, because
Mm.
it's really getting rough with having my own personal number. So that can cut all that out and still be able to be actively engaged, back to back to back, without having, personal phone numbers or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, this is
The one thing that I see that's good with this is what happens is there's no hiding place.
mm-hmm. Yeah, they can't say, oh, I didn't see
I
it, I
didn't see
didn't
it.
get it.
No, 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 no.
Uh-huh.
If you log in, it's there.
Yeah,
Like this one's like at
I like it.
11:59, Jody, the
Mm-hmm.
message was there. You know.
That's
Hey,
good. I like
and,
it. That's
and being able,
accountability for
yeah,
for for them, for me, for them, on both
Yeah.
sides. So yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always say this is a place where you know if you want to be. I mean, accountable if you are serious about what you're doing and the support that you're getting. This
Mm-hmm.
is a good place to be.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. Okay. Thank you. Sorry it took up so much time.
No, that's okay.
all right. Thanks for asking your questions, Yvette. They were good ones.
Exactly. And then, so Yeah, as I've said, once you have a lot going on, this calendar will help you a lot because you know who's on deck. You know if you're meeting somebody today, you know if somebody has to do something today, and you can check on them, you know. And yesterday, oh, I wonder if Jody has written her journal. I don't have to give her what done properly, if being religious about it, what this allows you to do is you only deal with the exceptions. If you say that Jody has done her journal, you don't need to go back to Jody and say, Jody, did you do it? You know, the communication that you'll have with her is great job. You're consistent, you know. So, instead of keep asking people about what they need, what they're doing, if they've done it, you have the opportunity to, reinforce them, cheer them on without having to ask them if they've done it. Yeah. So,
Patient, you can go into your TeamPatient account and see your calendar and see all the people you're working with. Everything's right in one platform. So that gives you just a great way to have a tracking record of all the people that you're working with, what the conversations that you're having. It's like a large file cabinet all in one spot. You're not having to figure out, okay, what did I talk to these people about last time I talked to them? And like I said, as your client base grows, it becomes harder and harder to remember everything. So this is just a great tool for you to have that all in one place.
Yep.
On your calendar.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just worked on syncing our calendar. So just say Joe Smith answers the phone, he's gonna schedule an appointment. We have someone that's going to come in. It's their first visit, and they're going to meet with the recovery coach. So how would we do? Does this calendar sync with other calendars, or would the rest of the team have access to this?
No, because the reason why we didn't do that is because we want to track it all here. If we do it with other calendars, there would be a lot of integration, first of all. And if you do it, having everything in one place, it will help the team to annotate, to keep track of everything in one place. As I've said, this is your one place to go for your team.
So how do you do that if someone's answering the phone and they're scheduling, if they don't have access to this calendar and someone wants to come in for an appointment? You know what I mean?
The patient, the client can add that information here, because this is what TeamPatient is it's your workspace that you work with your patient, with your client.
Okay, there's a million cool things in there. I just can't wrap my head around how someone would know availability for us and when we're available if they can't see the calendar.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Remember what you would need to do. This is your tool, so you're going to be able to keep track of all the people that you're working with. But then you'll need to make sure that the people that are taking your calls and viewing the overall calendar for all of the coaches that are working in your hub, that you're going to, it's a separate calendar from that. Obviously, you're going to have to let them know, these are the dates that, these are the times that I'm working with people. So they would be, have a record of what you're doing and on all the other coaches and what times are available. But this is your own individual calendar to see what work you're doing with it, the clients that you're working with, if that makes sense. So it is, you are going to have to, report, your calendar in two different places. If that makes sense. But this is for you, I guess. This is your tool.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the, I mean, look at it as this is your outward facing tool with your client. Somebody did a notation egg on my screen. I don't know how to turn it off. Anyway, so is there any other question?
I got a question, Allie.
Mm-hmm.
When we want to go to set it up, will we have I remember seeing a link to do that, or will there be are we supposed to one-off to do that, right?
Yeah, here.
Okay. So I'm just trying to figure out how to get started.
Yeah, okay.
To get
So
getting
we go
storing my
back to
information.
we go to our next steps.
Okay.
Our next steps is, well, we will email you the link to was this the document. It's a simple document that will tell you, you know, privacy, blah blah blah, and then you take a photo or scan and just email it back to us. We will create the network for you, and then you will receive a welcome email from the system, and that will get it started. And then you create the group for each client and work with the client to, you know, do the recovery plan and all the good things, working with them. And if you need any help in setting it up, let us know so that we can set up. I mean, organize a one-on-one Zoom session to help you. We also have established a TeamPatient discussion group on IRN. All of you are members of IRN. So you can join that group and we can have, you know, I mean, there are ways to get help. There's, of course, the web help. There's the TeamPatient group. You can email us at teampatient@solutionize.com. You can call us, and worst case, you can email Jody also, and it will get to us. So we will work with you to, you know, especially setting up your first client. We will work with you, hold your hands, and, you know, get you started.
And like Al said, you'll get an email that will help you get set up and onboarded, but I would definitely encourage all of you to reach out to us. We can set up just a small, you know, maybe a half-hour appointment with Al and myself to just individually help you, each one of you, and we're here for any type of support we can give you, but definitely reach out to us because this is such a great tool. I get so excited just seeing all the possibilities that can be so helpful for all of you. So please reach out, set up a time to meet with us, and, you know, we'll just get on a Zoom call and do a little kind of a check-in, you know, help you get set up with the, you know, the clients that you're already working with. And this is a very user-friendly system. I know you're thinking, oh, it's just another thing I've got to learn how to do. It's something new, but trust me, this is such a great way to keep you all organized in the work that you're doing. So
also, I wanted to say that, you know, do not hesitate to reach out to us out of hours. I know you're busy with your day-to-day job and all that. I mean, just reach out to us and we'll work out a time to work with you. Doesn't have to be 9 to 5.
right.
Yeah.
We're here for you.
As they say, we're all in this together.
Yeah, there you go. There's a question here that from Jay Mariska. Is that how you say the name? But anyway, is this completely separate from the My Recovery Journey app through Faces and Voices of Recovery? Yes, it is. It's not the same thing as that, but I don't know if you want to share any more about that, Al, or.
Yeah, this is a separate system. TeamPatient is on its own, a platform on its own for you to work with your clients. I'm not familiar with the My Recovery app, so I can't talk to that. But I will. I'll try to find out what it is, and I'll get back to you on the differences or similarities. Oh,
Maybe
you have the information. I mean, Jody, you have the information of who asked the
Right.
question. Yeah.
Does anybody else have any questions for us, or? We definitely look forward to hearing from you and getting you set up. So please reach out. Like we said, we're here to help. And we need your help too. This is just another way for us to, get more people trained and get more people set up and, help make these connections.
Yep. So if after this you think of some other question, feel free please to reach out to us and we'll try to answer them. Okay.
I'm going to go ahead before we sign off. I don't know, a lot of you already have this information, but my email address is jmiller@mhai.net. I put that in the chat for the people that don't have that, but reach out to us. Let us know how we can help you get set up. And thank you all for being involved in this orientation training and taking some time out of your evening. I know, a lot of you are working some long hours and busy days. So thank you again, all of you, for the great work that you're doing too. It's pretty amazing to see how this whole project has come together. I know it's been a lot of, a lot of people doing a lot of different things, and these recovery hubs and all the work that you're doing is game changing for the recovery community, and it's only going to get better and better with the 211 connection, and a lot of you are doing that work too. So thank you for that. But I think it's just a pretty cool, the work that we get to do. It's pretty amazing. So thank you.
Thank you so much, and I hope this has been helpful to you. And we look forward to hearing from you.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening. We made it on our time.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Take care, everyone.